Another speaker from the trade union movement, from the National Union of Journalists. Many of those journalists are most bravest people we've seen trying to report and having many of their work and reports censored as they try and get their stories back to the UK. So please give a big round of applause for Chris Ray from the NUJ. Thank you.
All of you here today know what the truth is about what's happening in Gaza. But there's so many lies being told through the government, through the media, through many other platforms. Big lie number one, that the Israeli Defence Force, the Israeli state, do not target civilians, that they give notice and warning, whether it be the knock on the roof or sending a text to clear the area. How the hell do you clear an area when there's 2 million people packed into a narrow strip of land, surrounded by a wall on three sides and the sea on the other? It's absolute rubbish. What's happening there is an attack by a highly armed, highly sophisticated, multi-billion-dollar funded defence system, attack system, destroying, massacring civilians, children, women, men. Another lie, that they only target so-called terrorists, so-called extremists. The majority of the victims of the Israeli aggression are children and women in the sleep, in UN schools. It's an absolute obscenity. And you have to fight back. We all know what's happening there. And we tell other people about what's happening there. But through the media, you don't hear it without exception, with notable exceptions, with Jon Snow, with the tragedy of a journalist killed in Gaza in a UN car. All the displaced journalists, all the Palestinians, courageously reporting on the ground what's happening. Don't believe the lies that you hear about restraint. This is a periodic, cyclical attack on a defenceless population. Don't believe it when the media says militants were attacking this, that or the other. There's another word for militants when they're our friends, and that's the resistance. There's another word for self-defence and restraint. It's a massacre, and that's what's happening. We started this demo, we don't even know how many people are going to be dead by the end of it. It's happening right now. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep fighting against the lies, the deceits, the spin, the slick PR that you hear from Israeli ambassadors, from concerned politicians who urge restraint on both sides. As if, and the biggest lie of all, this is a conflict between equals. Absolute rubbish. Worse than rubbish. Worst words that we can use, and we know what they are. These are children being killed in their sleep in UN sanctuaries, apart from anywhere else. And we've heard so much compelling evidence, so many compelling stories, first-hand accounts from people today, people that we know, people who report the honest truth about what's happening there. It's a disgrace, it's an obscenity, it has to stop, and it will only stop when millions of people stand up and say enough's enough. They put the pressure, they fight back, and they continue to tell the truth in the face of the lies that are pouring out of the Israeli state and its supporters in our country and the United States. Solidarity from the NUJ to everybody here today and to the people of Gaza. Thank you.